everybody, welcome to Lucky by Nature. And so today we are going to go over the new update and what's coming. I'm just basically going to cover the structures for Structures Plus, and Vixen is going to take care of whatever else is coming. So if you want to find out the whole thing, then don't forget to stay and stick around until she comes up, or basically until the end of the video. But anyways, here are the structures that we are going to go over. So let's get started, and I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick because I don't want to waste your time. So here we have a whole bunch of foundations, and they talked about how they're going to make them basically smooth and all that good stuff. And basically what they're talking about is this. If you notice, this is pretty much solid. This, you can see under it. That's the way it is with the wood. That's the way it is with the metal. And then the other ones are solid as well, but they're not quite as pretty as this. Look at that. See that? They tried to get too fancy with it. And also, looking at the tech, see? But I do prefer this. Some of you might disagree. But unfortunately, they're not going to have this. This is the glass, and you can use it also as the greenhouse stuff that you get from the normal one. Of course, they also have it on Structures Plus, but it's not quite as strong as the glass. And if the glass works, then what the heck, right? But anyways, what's cool about this, especially for the walls and the ceilings, is you can change the transparency and make it nice and cool, because it makes it nice, shiny, and dark. So you can enjoy your privacy. You can make it one way, so if you're sitting down, chilling, looking through your ceilings, you can look at the sky. Some people like that sort of thing. But anyways, also they talked about bringing in these triangle foundations, so you'll be able to come up with some really interesting stuff. You know, not to say that people don't come up with interesting stuff now, because they do. But just imagine what they can really do with that. So now we're looking at the walls. The walls are basically the same. The ones on the left are Structures Plus. The ones on the right are the normal ones. But as you can see, they're pretty much all the same except for this one. And this is the stone, and as you can see, you don't have this ugly wood. So both sides look about the same. So that's really, really nice, because I know I have screwed up before. And not only that, when you go inside, it looks like crap. I almost said the S word. Anyways, moving on. The other thing that we are going to be getting is this wall, which is made up of 4 walls, but it only counts as 1. So if you were to pick it up, boom, 1. This is great. Reason it's great is because it doesn't count as 4. So structure caps, they will get much, much better, especially on PvE. Not so much on PvP, but PvE, people tend to build really, really large. I know I did on a constant basis, and that was a problem for me. So I would constantly end up putting dino gates in their place. So I would take off 4 actually 8 walls, and putting up a dino gate, and it looked like donkeys behind. It looked terrible, but it would save me 6 slots from my or not slots, but basically it would save me 6 spots from my structure cap. But anyways, unfortunately, we're not going to get this one. This one is 12 high, which is the same height of a behemoth gate. But we're not getting that, so yeah, let's take this off. No good. Now, the next thing that we are going to get is the triangle ceilings and triangle roofs. What's the difference? Well, the difference is one is flat ceiling and the other one is at a slant, and that is the roof. It's the same thing with the actual squares, the ceilings, roofs. But anyways, the other thing that they talked about was the double doors, and that's this right here. See, it looks nice, and you have a lot more room. I mean, it's just nicer. So if you are using a chubby character, you'll be able to fit a lot easier. But of course, that comes along with the double door frame. But the other thing that they talked about is the ramps. Now, these are Structures Plus ramps. The regular ramps are actually a lot steeper than this. I don't know if they're going to change that. Let me see if I have them here. Yeah, there we go. Come on. There you go. That's how steep they are. They're very steep. And it's terrible sometimes because a lot of times dinos have issues going up these guys because they are pretty steep. Where the Structures Plus are just like the roofs, except of course they are ramps and they work much, much better. And what's cool about these is that whenever you're putting a foundation, it actually snaps to it, which is pretty nice. But the one thing that they were talking about is that you will have the option to have stairs. And that does make it look nice, as you can see. But it doesn't matter whether you have stairs or the ramp. The dinos will be able to go up them, regardless. So moving on to the, let's see here. Oh, the flexible, electrical and flexible pipes. And what they oh, jeez, get out of my way. I'm trying to do a video here. What they're talking about is this right here. This is not an incline. It's actually a, let me take it off here. Flexible. Oops, I took the wrong one off. But anyways, as you can see, there was no way that I was going to be able to connect this one with that one. Of course, here it's common sense. You would obviously build this first and go towards the water. But this is just a kind of a simulation, because obviously if you were way in there somewhere or way up there at the top, it'd be much, much harder to get it just right. But I guess a lot of people would just go from the bottom here and go up, but it doesn't always work that way, especially if you're dealing with something that's already pre-built up there. But I'm getting too much into like specifics, and let's just show you how this works. So basically, if you have several things that are coming together, obviously this is way off. See, it's too low, too far over. So in this situation, this is when you would actually use your pipe, your flexible pipe, and as you can see, you can snap it to the bottom, or you can snap it to the top and make it look all crazy looking. If you go higher, I mean, obviously you could use a bird, but I'm just gonna go ahead and snap it in there, and now you have your water. Unfortunately, you don't have, or we will not have, what Structures Plus has, which is the, let me look here. You see that? That is piping that's inside, like internal. And if I were to remove it, this has water and this has water. So it goes to this side. I can disconnect this one, internal pipes, and I can disconnect this one. But anyways, bottom line, it's coming out of here, as you can see. And once you put them in, as you can see, you can take them off. And for whatever reason, they still work, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, whenever you log back in, they may not be working. So disregard that. So it doesn't really matter. This is square. You have wall. So let's go ahead and put those back. Otherwise, it's not going to work. One there and one there. There we go. Otherwise, it would just be white. It would be a white little tier looking thing. See, like that. At the bottom of owner. So, the next thing that we are going to talk about is the wall. And basically what this is supports. And it's awesome because, as you can see, the top looks really, really nice. And it doesn't matter whether you are going downhill or uphill. It'll still work. But notice here we have a hole that we can walk right through. And I cannot put a wall there because it's too low and it gets in the, or the ground gets in the way. Whoa, what happened there? It looks like we can put it there after all. But what was weird is that I could not put it there before. Obviously, you have to move around a little bit, and boom, perfect. But don't get too happy about it, because if we were to start way down here somewhere, and we were to go up substantially, like, oh, this is perfect actually. Let's go ahead and try it. So I guess in a way this is good. Alright, so first thing you notice is that you have to go to the side. You can't be looking at it or facing it. So if you do that and you go ahead and put a wall up, and I'm running out of everything. The next one, when you snap it, you can't actually snap it like that. As you can see, it's in the way. It's not gonna work. So what you have to do in this situation is you have to put it on top, and it's a little tricky, but as you can see, there we go, boom. So now I need to get some more, which I was just trying different things here. So let's get these walls, and let's go ahead and get this pick up. All right. So once you put one on the top, you obviously can go ahead and connect. Oops, I already have them on my quick bar there. You can connect them like this and just rotate until, oops. That's a lot of spots. Let's start over again. There we go. Boom. But this is a perfect example. This is what I was trying to say, I ran into problems before. All right, so now that we are further in, we're definitely gonna have a lot bigger problems. And now it doesn't matter whether you move or whatever, you just can't put it in there. You can't do it. And so that is an issue. Obviously you can fix that by making sure if you have your own server, or if you're playing on single player, so you can actually build into terrain and things like that. But on official, yeah, that's gonna be an issue. And so you're gonna have to get pretty inventive. And in this situation, I would probably just put a foundation at the bottom. It sucks because it's gonna look like butt. So I would probably do something like this, and you have to be off of it a little bit, otherwise it'll be in the way. And then at that point, you can put a, hey, get off of there. Well, oh, there we go. There we go. But as you can see, it looks like butt. But hey, now at least you blocked it. But that's a whole nother issue, so that has nothing to do with what they're doing here. With these, it's basically the top looks really nice and beautiful and straight, and yeah, that's great. Now the other thing, last but not least, these dedicated storage are the best thing ever, because it not only can they hold a ton, that's 10,000 slots. I don't know if they're gonna make it like that on the official. I hope they do, because then that takes care of a lot of issues. Because as you know, there is a lot of different resources. And just to show you, these are the resources right here. And that's quite a bit. But the cool thing about these is you can stack them. You can stack them as high as you want. You can put ladders. And the other thing is, well, first, you got to have a tech generator. You can't actually power them with just a regular generator. Okay, that's first. The other thing is, let's go ahead and withdraw stacks. Let's go ahead and withdraw all of it. All right. That's a whole bunch of hide. And what's cool is we can go ahead and show you, well, I'll just choose the same one. I'm going to show you the range. And what that means is that any storage box, any dino within this range, it will collect that specific resource. So if I were to put, obviously when you go around getting meat and stuff like that, you're going to have a whole bunch of hide. You're going to have all kinds of different resources, actually. And so what you do is, let's say you have, I don't know, several different Rexes. You have a whole bunch of different tribe members, and everybody writes something different. As long as they are within range, you can go ahead and consolidate, and you get all of it off of the boxes, off of your dinos. And that's what makes this pretty sweet, along, of course, with the fact that it can hold a ton, and also the fact that you can actually see the little pictures of everything. So you don't have to sit there and name them. You don't have to sit there and try to figure out where you put them, color code them, none of that. This makes it really, really, really nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Over here, what we have is just the flexible electrical, which is, I connected. See, it's teeny tiny. I connected this line with that line. But also what I wanted to show you is the one on the right is the Structures Plus. The one on the left is the normal. And we always had issues with the length of the vertical line. The horizontal lines are pretty much the same. I just kind of misplaced them a little bit. But this one is 2, where this one is 1. And this one, each one of these Structures Plus vertical lines are actually the same size as a wall, which is awesome. But also, the other thing to notice is, of course, like I showed you before, that you have the internal, just like this. This is the power, and you don't see them, which is awesome. It's beautiful because they're not all over the place. And also notice what I can do here with putting the water lines within the walls. But we're not getting that, or at least not yet. But anyways, that pretty much covers this part of it. So here's Vixen.
Hey everyone, Angelic Vixen here. So let's get right into my part of this video, which is all about the new Kibble changes. So we are going into beta. It will start out on PC beta for everybody with the Kibble changes. And basically what they're doing is they're making the Kibble system far better, because before we needed every type of dino that had an egg, and each egg basically turned into its own kibble, which then tamed different creatures. So it was a nightmare. It really was, because you had to have, egg farms where you had multiples of each creature and dino, just so you had enough eggs to make these kibbles, because especially on official, it is incredibly time consuming to tame. So of course you're going to want the effectiveness and the faster taming speeds. But as you can see here, the old Kibble system, if you have the old kibbles, they will still work. But you will no longer be able to craft them for future when it finally gets implemented into the game. So in all reality, this is a great system, and I'm so happy that they're finally doing this. This has been currently available on Extinction only, but Wildcard is going to put it into the actual game. Right now, they're just going to get a lot of feedback and a lot of information, so that way when it goes into the official game, everything is working much better. But this is what they're letting us know. So now I want to show you the new Kibble system itself. So the new Kibble system itself is actually broken down into 6 categories: basic, simple, regular, superior, exceptional, and extraordinary. This makes it so much better because there are groups of eggs that work for each one, like extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and then the special eggs. Basically, what you do is you have a group of creatures that you can utilize, and I will show you here the actual breakdown. And instead of it being, I need 5 of these types of creatures for these types of kibbles, now it's going to be grouped together by size of the egg. I think this is a great way to make the Kibble system function better, and I also think that we will not need as many creatures in game, which will definitely improve dino cap issues like for PvE. It's not usually an issue on PvP as much because people fight, things die. But on PvE, they hit dino caps so fast that, you can't tame, you can't breed, you can't do anything. So I really believe that this new Kibble system is going to free up so much space because you will not need massive kibble farms that take up an entire tribe, because that's how we did it. We would have a separate tribe, and they were our allied tribe. So basically we could take care of those dinos, but then we would have like a ridiculous amount of eggs. So let's go through the breakdown. So this is the extra small eggs. Look at the list. So you don't need dodos and dillos. You can just go with, like, let's say dodos. And here's the actual recipes also with that. So this is the small eggs. Look at the variety. And look at how simple the recipes actually have become. Whereas before, you would need an outrageous amount of things to make these recipes. This is medium. I love this because now I can pick the creatures and dinos that I want to keep and not have stuff I don't ever want or need or waste my time with. This is large. I love this. And look how simple. Honestly, it's not even that much stuff. And you only need 1 egg for 1 kibble. I wish they had done this so much earlier. Extra large. Look. This is all you need. This is not bad at all. You could totally make these without so many issues. And I love the special eggs. So in the future, this will not be just for Extinction. It will be game-wide, and it will be taming all of the creatures. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like in the future. But when it actually gets implemented on beta, I will let you know the specifics on the recipes. But right now, I'm just going to show you how simple this is to make. I have my cooking pot. And this is my industrial cooker. You can also do it in a cooking pot. It's just more time consuming. So in the future, none of the other kibbles will craft. So like Carno, and as you can see here, and I'm doing this on purpose so you can see what they look like. They're all the same. So now the 6 categories are right here. But then as you can see, you will no longer get those additional kibbles. It is so simple. It is a magnificent thing that they have created here, and I'm just glad it's finally in game. I wish it had come a lot sooner, but at least it's happening now, and I can't argue with the pros of this. I don't see any cons to this, but you guys let me know, because your kibbles will still work, because most of us make a ton of kibbles and they sit in our fridges and we keep them safe and for future tames, because you really never know when you're going to find a high level this, that, and the other of things that you want to get. They kind of just happen. So you always want to be prepared and have your kibbles made. So you don't have to worry about those going to waste for all the time and effort that you put into them. But now in the future, all kibble systems will be so much easier. And the reason I'm showing this to you is just to show you that nothing has changed. It is still very simple. I just think that this is a better system overall. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think of this new system. Are you excited for this to get put into the game? And we will be one of the beta testers. Once they let us know how it's going to work to become a beta tester, we will, get in there so we can actually see what the recipe styles will look like and what we are dealing with. And then exactly how they're going to break it down, like what kibbles will go for what creatures to tame. But no matter how I look at it, I feel like this is a great system. But again, guys, I would love to hear from you. If you notice anything that could be a problem, or are you excited? Like, what are your thoughts and feelings about this? Because I'm just very happy. And then as you can see here, it does break it all down for you in detailed, information. And then there is a really good time frame that the kibbles stay good, keep them in the fridge, and everything is great. But that's it for this video, guys. This is what is coming to beta and then eventually into the official game. So This is exciting changes, and I'm so grateful to Wildcard. But that's it for this video, and until next time, keep surviving.
My work saved the human race.